All right, number 15, our last calculator inactive question, says Alex walked 1 mile in 15 minutes. Sally walked 3,520 yards in 24 minutes. In miles per hour, how much faster did Sally walk than Alex? And they did give us a relationship here that 1 mile is 1,760 yards. And just remember, this is not calculator active, so they're probably going to give us numbers that are easy to work with. In other words, let's not overthink this too much. So for Alex, I'm going to write Alex is 1 mile in 15 minutes. Well, I need it in, it says miles per hour. So all of this needs to be converted to miles per hour. We could go ahead and cancel our units and through multiplication, but I just see a real quick way to do this. I know that 60 minutes are going to be an hour. So if I just make an equivalent ratio here and do times 4, that would give me 60 minutes would be 4 miles, and I know that 60 minutes is 1 hour, so that means that 4 miles per 1 hour, and that's what Alex is. So we have Alex taken care of. We just need to find out about Sally. So how fast were you going, Sally? And Sally responds with, I'm booking it. She's just speedy, 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 speedy. Let's find out how speedy you are, Sally. So Sally is going to be 1,760 yards. I'm looking at these two numbers and I think, if I double 1,760 or add 1,760 plus 1,760, what do you know? That's going to give me 3,520 yards. So that tells me that two of those, that would be 2 miles. So right away I'm going to say that Sally ran 2 miles in 24 minutes. And now I'm looking, will 24 go evenly into 60? Because that's how I converted minutes to hours. And that doesn't seem to work out. Can't use a calculator. What if I reduce this using a common factor? If I did that, I would get 2 divided by our common factor of 2, since they're both even, would give us 1 over 12. Now, 12 will go into 60, won't it? So all I need to do with 12 now is multiply it by 5. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top, and that would be 5 miles over 60 minutes. And now I know that 5 miles in 1 hour. So now I've compared, or I have Sally's speed. So Sally was booking it. She was definitely running faster than Alex. And by how much? Well, let's just do 5 miles per hour minus 4 miles per hour, and it would be 1 mile per hour. Way to go, Sally. Okay, the first question for calculator active number 16. Which expression is equivalent to the cubed root of ax squared y cubed z to the 4th power? And I want you to look at the answer choices before we get started and notice that they have put them in fractional form, so the root is no longer there. So we want to make sure that we're doing that when we solve it. So one thing to remember there is when we're converting, we can convert a square root or a cubed root into a fractional exponent by remembering that it's the exponent over the root. So I think of that as being ER. So like you're going to the ER. So looking at that, I know that cubed also means that 3 there tells us how many of something we need to break out of jail. So for instance, 2 times 2 times 2 gives us 8. So we have 3 2's. So I know 2 is going to break out. that didn't really help me out too much because they all have a 2, don't they? So we didn't get anywhere as far as eliminating them, but we know 2 is now out of the root, so out of jail. The x squared is not going to break out because we only have 2 x's. So it's still going to be in there. But if I was writing that in the fractional form, it would be x to the exponent is 2, the root is 3, so it would be x to the 2/3. Looks like I've eliminated some right now. That D doesn't have an x to the 2/3, C doesn't have an x to the 2/3, and A doesn't have an x to the 2/3. So it does have to be B. Let's go ahead and prove why it's B. Look at your y. That y there is to the 3rd power. So y to the 3/3 is just y to the 1st power. And you can see that B has y to the 1st power, so that works. Another way to think of that is you have 3 y's. So if you have 3 of something, remember, they break out of jail, so that would just be y. And they got z to the 4/3. Let's just double check that that's right. So our z would be, the exponent on that is 4, and it's ER, so the root is 3, and yes, that's going to be right. So we just proved B is definitely correct, and we just verified it on all accounts. I recommend you do that, just in case you make a mistake. And hopefully you don't need to go to the ER.